Hey, what's up, Reality Bite family? I'm so glad you're here with me today. We are going to talk about something really important. Really, really, really important. 5 things you should never be ashamed of. These are the things that makes you who you are. Yes. They are very important things, so you should never be ashamed of them because they make you who you are. They defines you. We are going to dig into why it is worth celebrating these things. Yes, we are going to dig deeper into why it is worth celebrating these 5 things that we should never be ashamed of. They are worth celebrating. Now let's get into it. One is your background. Yes. Let's start with your background. When where you came from, that's your foundation. Where you came from is your foundation. Maybe you grew up in a small town where everybody knows everybody. Or maybe you are from a very big city where you had to hustle to be seen. Either way, your background shapes your story, and that's something to be proud of. Trust me. Whether I came from a very small village, wherein everybody knows everyone, or I came from a very big city, wherein you have to struggle so hard to be seen. Trust me, that's your background, shapes your story. That's your background, make you who you are today. So you have to be very, very proud of your background. Yes, you have to be very, very, very proud of your background. You have to be proud of your small village where you came from, or the big city where you came from, the hamlet where you came from, the street where you came from. You have to be very proud of that because your background shapes your story. So, a question now to the audience: where are you from? Look up it in the comment section. Let's celebrate the diversity that makes all of us unique. Your background makes you unique. Remember, your background isn't something to hide. It is something that adds depth to who you are. So don't joke with it. Don't joke with your background. Your background makes you who you are. So it is something worth celebrating. That's the first thing you will never, never be ashamed of. Where you came from. The small village where you came from. The big city where you came from. The Fakai where you came from. You should never, never be ashamed of the small village where you came from. You should never be ashamed of the Fakai where you came from. It is worth celebrating. Because the person you are today, that village, that's your background, contribute immensely to who you are today. So it is worth celebrating and not worth to be ashamed of. Secondly, your physicality. Yes, your physicality. We all know how society loves to see these impossible standards for how we should look. But here is the real deal. Beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. Yeah. Whether you are tall, short, slim, or curvy, your body is yours. And that is what makes you special. Yes, that's what makes you special. Don't ever be ashamed of your physicality. Oh, this of my person want me to be like this. No, everybody's unique in his own way. Your physicality makes you special. Whether you are tall, short, slim, curvy, your body is yours. And that makes you a special and unique being. Have you ever felt pressure to look a certain way? Let's shake that around off right now. If you are ready to embrace your body just the way it is, confidence isn't just fitting into someone else's mold. It's about owning your uniqueness. Your physical makes you unique. Don't be ever don't ever be ashamed of your physical. Oh, I am short. I have to be ashamed of me being short, or I'm slim. I have to be ashamed of me being slim, or I'm too tall. No, that makes you unique. Beauty is uniqueness. You know, that's you. You have no control over it. So just be proud of your physical. Nothing about that. Just be proud of who you are. You know, you don't have to change for someone to like you. Someone has to accept you for who you are. So don't be ashamed of that. Don't ever be ashamed of who you are. Thirdly, admit it when you don't know something. Yeah, here's a big one. Admit it when you don't know something. We all have been in a spot wherein you're in a conversation, suddenly something's sprung out that you don't know. And you'll be tempting to know that long and pretend you know. But honestly, there is no shame in saying, I don't know. If you don't know, you just don't know. Yeah. If you don't know, you just don't know. How many of you have been there? Let me know in the comment section. The smartest people are the ones who ask questions, who admit they don't know everything, but they are eager to learn. That makes you smart. When you admit that I don't know this, but I'm ready to learn, that makes you smart, not pretending to know everything. If you don't know, you just don't know. So if you don't know, admit that you don't know and you are ready to learn. That makes you unique. So they ever be ashamed to say I don't know. No, that don't make you smart. If you don't know, you just don't know. If you don't know, say I don't know, and you're eager to learn. That's how you go. So next time you're unsure of something, just say it and go find the answer. Now we have Google, we have this artificial intelligence. If somebody asks you of something you don't know, if you don't know, say I don't know. Let me try to find out. Don't pretend to know when you don't know. That's one of the biggest mistakes people do make. If you don't know, you just don't know. It's very important. Don't you ever be ashamed of saying I don't know when you actually don't know. That's very important. Another key thing again you should never be ashamed of is the work you do. Yeah. The work you do is very important. That's put food on your table. So don't you ever be ashamed of the work you do. Don't you ever be ashamed of that. Whether you're a mechanic, a teacher, a barrister, or whatever else, your job is nothing to be ashamed of. It is what keeps your life moving. It is what supports your family. And it is what gives your purpose. Your job supports your family. It makes you who you are. It gives you the purpose of life. So why must you be ashamed of the job you do? Every person is important in the society. So you don't have to lie about the job you do just to fit into the society. Nah, your job brings food on your table. So don't be ashamed of the job you do. So now, what do you do for a living? Drop that in the chat box. What you do for a living? Let's celebrate every role. Every role is important. Don't let anyone make you feel less because of your job. Don't you ever. Don't you ever make anyone make you feel less because of the job you do. Every job has value. Just imagine if there are no plumbers. Can the president do the job of a plumber? No. So everybody is important. Every job is important. From the shoemaker to the driver to the teacher, the lawyer, everybody is important. So don't you ever feel less because of the job you do, because you are important and unique in your own way. One important thing again you should never be ashamed of is your tradition. Don't you ever be ashamed of your tradition. Your tradition is your pride. Yeah. Your culture, your custom, your heritage. These are the things that connect you to your roots. They are part of your identity. They deserve to be honored, not to be ashamed of. You know, come to a certain place, then all of a sudden you want to behave like those people. No, you have your custom, you have your tradition, you have your heritage. They define you. more like this ever-evolving world that we are living right now, we have to preserve our culture. We have to pass on this culture to our children. So if we are not proud of our culture, how can we pass them to our children? Our culture defines us. Our tradition defines who we are. So what tradition do you hold close to your heart? Share them in the comment section. In a world that is always changing, traditions are what keeps us grounded. They remind us who we are and where we come from. Never be ashamed of them. They are part of what makes you you. The traditions make you who you are. So never be ashamed of your tradition because they are unique. They are part of the things that shaped us. So never, ever be ashamed of your tradition. So these are the 5 things you should never be ashamed of: your background, your physicality, your willingness to learn, the work you do, your traditions. These are the things that make you who you are, and they are worth celebrating every single day. They are worth celebrating every single day. Yeah. As I promised, this live gonna be very short. Please take these 5 things in mind. These are the things that makes you who you are: your tradition, your physicality, your willingness to learn, the work you do, and your traditions. Hold them dearly to your heart. Don't ever pretend. Don't you ever pretend to know something when you actually don't know. Thank you very much for being here with me today. I am Dennis Fofana, and see you next time. And please share this live to someone that you know who needs this one most. Never be ashamed of these 5 things because they are what makes you who you are. Thank you for being here with me. See you next time.